Welcome to part 5 of In the Horse You Rode In On. Now, as we talked about last time, the genre got a big boost from 1992's Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. And the genre survived up to date with good movies here and there, and some not so good ones.
You know what? I've had it. I put up with enough abuse from you and everybody else today, and I'm through with it.
Well, how'd you even get in here? I didn't invite you here.
It doesn't matter. I go places all the time I'm not wanted. But I'm going to use your own material against you. I watched Hondo. Now prepare for what I have for you. That's it. You win.
It's the best news I've got all day. The films that followed Unforgiven have usually been quality films that involve celebrities with familiar style stories. Tombstone followed the year after Eastwood's hit. This strong retelling of the shootout at the OK Corral had a combination of more legitimate historical elements with older elements of the Invincible heroes. Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer, and Sam Elliott all give great performances in this one and make it well worth the watch. Somewhat oddly, very close to the same time, Kevin Costner released his biographical piece, Wyatt Earp. The movie failed to be quite as decent as Tombstone and just fell flat as a film. The real significance is that Costner proved that some major actors were still interested in doing westerns. Costner had a role in the previously mentioned Silverado. He had also made the somewhat western Dances with Wolves that garnished him an Academy Award for his direction, and followed in the footsteps of Broken Arrow and Little Big Man in its fair treatment of Native Americans. Costner has had somewhat of a sporadic career over the years, but he did manage to make one of the finest westerns since Unforgiven. Open Range, released in 2004, was a great story about cattle grazers who come into conflict with a town boss who believes them to be stealing. The movie is a strong character study starring Costner and Robert Duvall, who had a long history of being in westerns, and had one of the most realistic gun battles in movie history. No matter how many cowboys you see hit a bullseye from 50 feet with a six-shooter, it probably wouldn't actually happen. Handguns in that era were very inaccurate. The movie reflects that by people constantly missing with their pistols, and be much more accurate with the use of rifles. The fight isn't only exciting, but appears to have some realism.
So these things are hard to hit targets with?
Yeah, they have a very limited range.
So we could probably shoot each other from this distance and just miss.
No, you're like 3 feet apart. Even these guns have that kind of range.
Should we back up and shoot each other?
No, shooting is for outside. And even if you did shoot each other, you might get lucky and hit each other. And then what would happen?
We probably bleed.
Get out of here! Jeez.
So the long and the short of it is simply this: that though the Western has faded largely from the most popular of American genres, it will continue to survive, and Unforgiven is simply one of the best. Actually, before Unforgiven, Lonesome Dove was a great miniseries made in 1989, starring Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones. TV, though not having the series that it once had, still does enough to support the Western. AMC recently upheld it with the 2-part miniseries Broken Trail, starring once again Duvall and Thomas Hayden Church. Other good movies made since Unforgiven include the likes of Dead Man, the remake of 3:10 to Yuma, and Appaloosa, which have all been quite good. So, simply put, the Western will continue to move forward as a genre, though it will probably never return to the prominence that it held in its heyday of that of John Wayne and Clint Eastwood. Due to America's fascination with the cowboy, the lawman, and the trailblazer, the Western will continue to spawn movies for the viewing pleasure of a grateful audience.
Now, I think it's worth going through some of the old stereotypes one more time. The hero, for instance.
I'm here. I'm a bit complicated. I can be heroic, or I can be villainous. But I always do the right thing when it counts.
That's some really weird exposition. I think I preferred the do-gooder. Anyway, moving forward, the villain.
I'm pretty much the same, except I don't wear black all the time.
And so your plans are pretty much the same, aren't they?
Yeah, but I'm craftier.
Sure you are, champ.
And of course, we still have our female leads. Though I must confess that I prefer my male leads in the John Wayne tradition despite the feminist revolution. You're not going to hit me this time?
No, I don't need to show off for any man.
Thank goodness for that. And of course, Native Americans even fared better as time has gone on in the Western end. So who are you?
I'm the modern Native American.
Shouldn't you wear like a period costume or something?
Don't be a racist, man.
Well, anyway, I guess that gets close to wrapping it up from here. Wait, what are you doing here? Your character largely disappeared from the Western.
Too rich to work.
How did you get rich?
Found the gold.
Well, anyway, folks, I guess that wraps it up from here. I'm glad you watched. I hope you learned something. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you very much. So remember, happy trails, and watch out for those rough patches.
I've seen the movie Hondo and prepare for what I have for you.
Where are you going to go with that?
I don't know.
Just sort of stand there.